Good morning. My name is Belinda and welcome to the Belinda's Baubles podcast. Today is November 12th, 2023, and this is episode 7 and take 5. You can see how my morning's going already. I'm coming to you from Fort Worth, Texas in the United States, and I am so excited to have some new viewers along as well as all of those that have been following me from the beginning, which isn't quite a year yet. And we have just reached 200 subscribers. So if you have not subscribed, please do subscribe. It really does help grow my channel, and I want to be able to keep coming along. And I am just so excited today because it has just been a boost in the last 24, 48 hours. And I'll tell you a little bit about that in a bit. But first off, I have 5 finished projects. Can you believe that? Usually I come on here with 1. Today I actually have 5. I cannot believe it. It has been a good month, and unfortunately it's also been a month where I've cast a bunch of new stuff on, but oh well. We're going to do whatever we want to. It is our projects, our knitting, our crocheting, our sewing, or whatever it is that we're doing. And I have knitting and sewing today. Can you believe that one too? I actually did some sewing and I made a tutorial. There's also going to be a special announcement at the end of the podcast, so please do stick around for that. So, where to start from first? Let's see. I guess I should start with what I am wearing. This is one of my new finished objects. It is, in the U.S. we call it a vest. I don't know, it would be considered a tank top, waistcoat, coat in other areas. But this is the White Mountain Light. The pattern is actually for a sweater, but Midori Hiroshi, the designer, also put in information on how to make a vest. Here in Texas, with our heat and everything, I figured the vest, which is what I'm probably going to be making more of this winter, just would help out a lot. I love the detailing on this. Let me see if I can show it to you. Where am I at? Here we go. There's some beautiful little detailing right through here. And then on the edging, there we go. The edging right here is an I-cord bind off, where you pick it up and bind it off. I did make this in a cropped length. I'll put a picture up. Ooh, I guessed right. I'll put a picture up here of me wearing it. I did it more of a cropped length because I wanted to be able to wear a long sleeve shirt with the tails out underneath it, which felt more comfortable to me. And the yarn, I actually have another skein left, which this is going to become a hat. This is Cascade Yarns Cantata. The color is actually black, which is color number 4, believe it or not. And this is 70% cotton, 30% superwash merino wool. The cotton is basically on the inside of the thread. Let's see if I can get it up here so you can see it good. And then around the edging is the black superwash wool. It is so soft, it is comfortable as all get out, and it's not real expensive. Hand wash cold, lay fat to dry, just standard stuff. But I really do love this, and I know I'm going to be wearing it a lot. And the pattern was really well written. I always learn new skills whenever I'm doing something from Midori Hiroshi, but this time I actually did the German short row on the back, which that was a new skill for me. All right, so that's number 1. Number 2 are some socks. let you see it a little bit better here. This is just a vanilla sock pattern. For me, I always do more of a shorty sock just because it's most comfortable for me. The yarn that I used is Geektastic Fibers Superhero, and the colorway is I Smell Children. So this was one of my Halloween socks. Then I made them on 2.75, 2.75, which is what I normally do my socks on. And the heel and toe, this is actually from Fiber Lady, here a local yarn store and mill, and it is bamboo. And I did something a little bit different this time. I have my favorite heel is the butterfly heel by Kay Jones of the Bakery Bears. But my feet swell during the day, and it tends to make it to where it's just a little bit too tight through here. One of the viewers did recommend that I go back and try again adding extra stitches. I did that, and I left it in for several stripes before decreasing back down, so I can't wait to see how that works out. The other thing I did different is with just the wear and tear on socks, I tend to get holes in the toes. So I doubled up my yarn in the toe, and it was really feeling stiff at the beginning, but after I washed it, it feels great. And I cannot wait to find out. Now, the toe that I did here was also by Kay Jones, and I used these off of some of the patterns that I already had. And this is the umbrella toe. So umbrella toe, butterfly heel, vanilla sock. And now that I've shown you these, I get to start wearing them. Okay, next up, we're going to go through these fast, hopefully. And bear with me while I get some information here, because I've got my notes off to the side. This is the Twisty Staircase sock. Put that over there so you can see it better here. And I used my mini here was just in the heel. And this is Dragon Thistle Fibers. It was just a mini that was left over from my Advent from a couple of years ago. And this is Lanes du Nord Paint Sock. Now these are cousins. They're not sisters because I just did not need to use but half of it. So there we go. You can see, because the Lanes du Nord painted sock is set up to where you actually have that tan line in there to where you can start and you can match them up perfectly. Me. I'd rather hold on to the other half and use it for later on. So this was a pattern. Let's see, who is it by? Sorry. Here we go. The Twisty Staircase Socks is by Dana Ray Makes. It was a pattern that I won in a make-along. And I love the texture that comes out. Let's see if you can see it. She has designed this to where it looks great either with a solid or with a striped sock. And it just jumps out at you when you're seeing it in person. Trying to see if I can get the lighting on there good. I've been fighting with my lighting all morning. Okay, so, and again, 2.75, my normal. They may look a little bit fuzzy because I've already worn them once. And then I've gone back to just a slip stitch heel to give that a try and see if that'll help with the swelling on my feet as the end of my shift happens, because I love wearing my knit socks at work. Okay, I also finally finished Sam's vanilla socks that he has been patiently waiting for. As you can see, these are a bit longer than mine. I'm going to take a look here and see what the difference is. Yeah. There we go. So there's a reason, and he likes his length longer than I do. I use the same 64 stitches for both of us, but his just, I start slogging through the feet and I get bored. Let's be honest, I get a little bored and I want them done, and I get to the point that normally I would be putting the toe on for me, and I'm like, oh no, I gotta keep going. But I got them done and I'm so happy. Now I do need to still weave in the ends, but he'll have these by the end of day. He's been asking me when he can have them. And let me find out, let's see here. I used, for the heel and the cuff, this is Cascade in gray, Cascade yarn, heritage sock. And the main striped yarn here, this is Wisdom Yarns Saki Silk. So it actually has some silk in here. And Shadowscape is the color. Okay. So we are, how far in? We're 11 minutes in, and I've gotten 4 of my finished objects done. Now my 5th finished object is going to be a little bit harder for me to show. So I am going to, again, put a picture. Oops, sorry, wrong side. I knew I was going to get it wrong. Picture on this side of me wearing it. And this is my new skirt that I did a tutorial, kind of tutorial. You know me and sewing. It's not my favorite thing, but I love this skirt. This is my favorite skirt. It is basically a recycled skirt to a degree, because I took a pair of old jeans that I'd blown the backside out of, and I added on, for a shorter skirt, you only need about a yard. And for this skirt, I did, I think, 2 yards because it's a longer skirt. And I wanted something long. It's a very light corduroy. But I can, and it's a little bit of a cheat because it already had an edging on it that I liked. Part of the reason I bought the fabric, but it had the edging on it that I like, so that I didn't have to hem the skirt. So this is my favorite dodgy skirt, and I will link down below the tutorial on how I made it and to show it to you and everything. But it's gotten some really good response, and I am very thankful for those of you that have found me through it. So that's my 5 finished objects. Can you believe it? Do not expect to ever see this again. I mean, this is probably a one-time fluke of a deal to have this many finished objects all at once. So next up is new construction. And new construction has a few things in it. After all, I don't have any socks right now on the needle, which means I still need to cast on a pair of socks, which I have not done yet. I also got a larger project done, my vest, so I needed to have a few new things, right? After all, I have so many empty project bags, even though I have all of these over here, plus a few more that have projects in them. And if you're wondering about this little guy over here, my little cabin, we'll get to that in a bit. That's part of my special announcement. Okay, so let's see. I'm actually hiding two projects at the moment because I haven't switched them out yet. This bag here is by So Unique in the UK. I won it, I think last year, maybe the year before, on the Strictly Sock Along for one of my cheats. And I love the fall leaves inside as well as all the animals on the outside. And it's a great size, as you can tell, because I do have two different projects in it. Okay, the first one is the Summer Secret Crop. Yes, I am making another one. I wear the first one so much, I need another one. And this one, though, I am, instead of making it from linen, this one I am making it from superwash wool. And I am using Hank Me Home Tonight's. This is the Stripey DK, and it's called Rainbow Road. Now this one is a 100% superwash merino, 246 yards, so I could not use it for socks or anything like that, even DK socks. So I wanted to make this into my secret summer crop. Okay, show you how it is coming along. I've gotten a little ways down. I take this to work with me sometimes. Okay, so there, this is actually the bottom edge. And I love how the colors are coming along. It is so soft, and it's going to feel so good. I figure a lot of these summer crops, you know, I can throw them underneath a jacket. I can throw them underneath another sweater, or, you know, it's just a nice layering piece, even underneath a shirt. And I'll have those to add just a little bit of warmth. Again, we're dealing with, I know in other parts of the country, other parts of the world, especially in the northern hemisphere, you're just trying to stay warm. Me, I'm having to layer in pieces so that I can take things off as the day goes on, because my day right now, it's starting around 50 degrees Fahrenheit, but it can be anywhere from 70 to 80 degrees at the end of the day. So layering pieces are my friend. And the summer, well, I'm calling it my fall secret crop, is by Jessie May Designs. All of the items that see if I can get these words out. All the items that I'm mentioning today, I will have in the show notes down below, along with as many links as I can get to actually work. Some days they work, some days they don't. All right, so let me pull this out so we can get to the next one. All right, so now I am making another, okay, so I am duplicating my patterns. I am going to get use out of these patterns that I'm purchasing. So I'm making another white mountain light vest. And I had been watching a couple of other podcasters, such as Alex with, okay, my brain is not here with me today. Alex with My Yarny Corner. And she found and showed off some King Cole Fjord Fair Isle Effect yarn. And I fell in love with it. This is, I think, 100% acrylic. Yeah, 100% anti-pilling acrylic. It is a DK, 100 grams. Made in Skipton, UK. So I feel like, you know, it came from her to some degree. This is her neck of the woods, not mine. But you can see the side here. It gives this effect whenever you're knitting it. Now she had the Christmas colorway, which is the red and green, and she made herself her little elf sweater and crocheted it. It looks great. Of course, all the Christmas colorway is already gone. And I got this from Okay, I'll put it on here. LoveCraft. There we go. I got it from LoveCraft. And I've never had any of the king coal because it's not something that you find readily here in the U.S. And as soon as I got it and I opened up the package, I had to cast it on. Haven't gotten very far. But here's the collar. So you can imagine, you know, this is going to be right up here. This will be the collar. And I wanted to have a fairly wide collar on this one, so I'm going to use it and keep doing the collar until I get through all the navy blue before going into these beautiful light blues and everything. And I figured with this patterning yarn that I needed something that was top down, but I also wanted something that I could wear, wasn't just for Christmas, but was for all winter. So that's why I went with the colors that I went with, was the navy blue and the light blue and white. I figured I'd get more use out of it. And also with the vest, I have a better chance of getting more use out of it this winter. Okay, so that's my summer or fall secret crop. The White Mountain Light vest, and I'm also doing a test knit. This is my second test knit. It's also my second test knit, sorry, I'm finding dog hairs, for Tabitha Tuesday Knits. It is a very similar pattern. This is just that I did earlier with my red cardigan. And again, I'm doing a red cardigan. This is the Mindful Merino cardigan. It is still in test, but I will make a note of it and let y'all know as soon as it comes out of test. It would probably be out of test a little faster if test knitters, such as mainly me, were a little faster. I'm having a little trouble with getting everything done that I want to do. Okay, so see if we can get this up here for you. I am using, I love this yarn, and this is red tweed. It is a 100% acrylic, and I wanted something that was going to be long wearing, easy wash, all of that good stuff. It has balloon sleeves, and I mean these are some balloon sleeves. And this is size extra large. Has a little bit of detailing around the edge for just a pop of color. Let me see if I can get you to see all this tweed. There you go. So you should be able to see it there. Now what I did, and I asked Tabitha if it was okay for me to do, was I added a stripe of garter in. And I did it right before I finished up casting off for the sleeves, so that it would end up going down. I can show you this on the back probably better. I just wanted it goes down, and then maybe I can show you across. There we go, right through here. So it's going to go across the back, over the sleeve, and across the front. And it's got just a little square, you know, kind of gives it a little square point, but I wanted to just add a little something different, and she was perfectly fine with me doing that. All right, so after the sleeve, the good thing is with the balloon sleeves, you don't have to do a lot of body, but I think I'm about halfway through the body before I need to put on the bottom. And then I figure once I get over to the sleeves, it'll go a lot faster because I'll be knitting in the round. I am a slow purler, I will admit it. Purling doesn't bother me, but I'm slow at it. And unfortunately, with the size that I need to do for myself, it's a little bit of a length across. I mean, I can't even show you how wide this is at the moment because of the fact that, you know, I've got it on needles that I can work with here. So that should hopefully be done before the next podcast. It should be done before the next podcast. Let's see how it goes. All right, then I have one more new cast on. About 4 or 5 years ago, I made a scarf receiver and I crocheted it. It was before I started knitting, and it was I bought the yarn the first year I think I went on Yarn Crawl, and it was a green. It wasn't very wide, but he has worn that and worn that. And this last year, or this year, he's like, "Mom, can you make me another scarf?" He's like, "Or can you fix this one?" And he brings it to me, and I look at it, and it's got about 4 or 5 holes in it. And I wasn't upset or anything. He has worn that thing out. So, of course, I have to make him another one. But this time it's going to be knit instead of crochet. And I have tried about 4 or 5 different scarf patterns. Some of them I was just getting so bored with. Others, it didn't hit me right. And it didn't show what I wanted it to do. You know, I wanted it to be masculine, but I also wanted it to have some kind of detail to it. So this is what I finally found that I am loving. And this is called A Good Scarf. That's just it. A Good Scarf by Barbara Benson. And it is reversible. Look at that. She has written it so where it ends up coming out reversible. Now I am doubling this up with 2 sock yarns, and this is actually also yarn that I have made Seversome socks out of in previous years. So what I have here, let me click on my own little link so I can go over there to my Ravelry page. I do have all this information on my Ravelry pages, and I try to keep them updated as best I can. So, what have I got here? Okay, so I'm using Cascade Heritage Sock, just in green. You can see that there. There we go. And then to go with it, show you this way. Ta-da! There we go. To go with it, this is a Hank Me Home Tonight squishy sock in snake juice. And Hank Me Home Tonight is sold exclusively at this time at On the Lamb Yarn Shop. And you'll find information about all of that down below. So, but you've got all the garter, then these slips, where am I at? Slip stitches here. And I love the way it just comes out. Okay, so watch this space as it grows, and we'll see what happens. Okay, so check my notes, see if I'm on track. I'm under 30 minutes. Sorry, my nose is just itching today. If you've been to any of my podcasts before, you know that usually by this time I am almost close to an hour. I'm trying to go a little faster today because I had to cut some stuff out of the last podcast because it just would not render. So I'm trying to get this a little bit better. Okay. So 1, 2, 3. Yep. Those are my 4 main new cast-ons. Now in the works, I finished my in the works items and I cast on new items. So I don't really have anything in the works that I'm actively working on. Of course, I have all of these back here, but I didn't do anything with them this last month, so I didn't figure I'd pull them out. I still have my antique Flora sweater that I've decided to go ahead and go with the short sleeves or elbow sleeves. So I need to add the sleeves on, but I have not gotten anything done with it, so I wasn't going to show it today. What I do have, excuse me just one second. Computer was fighting with me and not giving me the information I was asking for. Okay, so what I am going to tell you about quickly here, because it is something that's in the works and it's something that I've been working on. In collaboration with Mandy at Mouse's Makes, we are going to do a make-along. This is going to be my first make-along. Mandy has done quite a few, but this will be my first make-along, and whenever I reached out, she so graciously said she would come along this journey with me because I was a little nervous of doing it on my own. This is called the Topping Out make-along. It'll be a knitting and crochet make-along going from January 1st, 2024 to March 31st. And the purpose of it is for us to finish some of our items, such as these, that we've already started, but we just haven't finished yet. So the prizes at the end of the make-along, the big prizes, will go towards finished objects. But each month there will be some pattern drawings, and that'll come from the chatter thread on Ravelry, which will be done. Mandy is going to be hosting the Ravelry threads. So in the Ravelry threads, we will have the for the chatter thread to tell us about what you're working on and everything. And then there will be a finished object thread as well, where the bigger prizes will come from at the end. So if you're not familiar with the term, I like to use some construction terms, as you might have seen. And so it also just goes with knitting and crocheting. So a topping out is whenever the last beam is put into a construction. So this is my construction over here. And so this will be for whenever we do our last beam. Just to give you a little bit more information, I am going to put my little commercial that I put together right here. So I said it was going to be a short one, so it was a short one. I hope you enjoyed my little commercial I put together. But I'm really excited about this make-along, as you can see. And I will have that information as a separate little short video also on mine and Mandy's. I think Mandy may be putting it on hers as well. So make sure you go along to both. Keep watching me here at Belinda's Baubles, but also go over to Mandy at Mouse's Makes, because some of the winners will be announced on both podcasts or just one or the other. So you need to, check us both out. This will be run on Ravelry, but I know not everybody uses Ravelry, and we're doing it on there just because there's been some issues with doing some of the Instagram one, so we're going to do Ravelry. But if you do not have a Ravelry account or you do not use Ravelry, that's okay. You can email me at belindasbaubles@gmail.com a picture of what you're working on. That way you'll be entered in on the monthly drawings for the patterns. Or at the end, whenever you're finishing an object, email me a picture of your finished object, and that'll also enter you in for the drawings at the end. So don't worry about that. I will also have a hashtag on Instagram just for the fun of it. I'll put the hashtag on there if you want to share around your pictures and everything and tell others about our little make-along. But the drawings will not come from Instagram. Just be aware. Also, just to make this a little out here that we tell everybody tells everybody on podcast, we will not message you direct if you have any kind of, if you win something, it'll be announced in the podcast and in the podcast only. We will not reach out to you ourselves. So if someone reaches out to you, it's not us. So, got that out of the way. So please do, even if you cast on, if you want to have a cast on party on the 31st of December, go for it. Those will qualify. You just have to have started your project prior to January 1st, your time zone. Okay, the only other thing I have is what's coming up soon, which, just to let you know, I won't be doing Vlogmas per se, but I did get an advent calendar. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a series of shorts, just a couple of, with a short, it has to be basically a minute or less. So it's just going to be a quick opening up of my advent calendar that I purchased, and going on from there, maybe throwing in a little bit of local Christmas lights and stuff like that, as well as I'll show you what Sam's been working on. Sam is really into Christmas lights. Sam is really into Christmas lights. He does a show out front that is music, lights, the whole works. And he has been doing this for years. And he has been working on a big project, his Matrix, which is basically he's making his own TV screen pretty much. And he will control each one of those bulbs. So he's been asking me to share this with you a little bit anyway. So I'm going to put a picture in. Okay, I got it right once. I'll show you a picture right here. This is what's in our front room. And this is what's going to be lighting up out on the front porch, as well as our lit up nativity. And so once we get it all up and running and everything, I'll record it and I'll put a video on here as well, and share a little bit of our adventures along with that, probably in the shorts for Vlogmas. It's always an adventure. So, okay. I think I actually got through here in under 45 minutes. It may even be less than that. What did I miss? I missed something. I did miss something. My confessions. Yeah, I didn't get away this month with not buying something. I know. So, where'd they go? They're looking at me over here in the side going, you forgot about us. Okay, so I already told you about my King Cole Fjord. But I also, on the lamb, has a sale table. I have to circle it a few times each time I go in there. And what she had on was the Mirasol Inka. This is 64% viscose, 36% baby alpaca, and carnelian, and it is just beautiful. I mean, that's pretty close. It's closer to a peachy rust than what is coming out on here. Let's see if I can get it, but it is that shiny. And it's just so beautiful. And I'm going to pair this with some Nomad eggshell that I had. And this is, which one is this? This is just their fingering sock weight, 70% superwash merino wool, 30% nylon sock weight yarn. undyed, and I had purchased quite a few of these a while back just to add into things. And so I'm going to put those two together and hold them together. And I do have a project already picked out. All right, Tin Can Knits has come out with a new app. I don't know if you've heard about it or if you've looked at it, but I went ahead and I downloaded the app because I just love their stuff. I learned how to knit my first sweater using Tin Can Knits flax, as well as my first pair of socks. I've used them because they just, and those were free patterns. But they have this new project that they've put together, which is an app. And going on there, I went to help support them. I went ahead and I also bought a few credits off of there. And they are making, or have gifted to those that have the app, the silver bells. Let's see if I can pull this up, a better picture. Okay. Yeah. This is the Silver Bells sweater. It has baubles. You know, I am Belinda's Baubles. I need to have, I've got other things that I've crocheted in the past that had baubles on them, but I do need a sweater that has baubles on it, don't I? I really do. KainorDesigns. It's on Etsy. But I got these cute little sock blockers. Now this is size 15, 16, which is up to age 3, up to 3 months. And I love the fact that it had the hook. Okay, the whole purpose of this was, do you remember whenever I made the baby socks a little while back for some friends? I wanted to be able to give them one of these, and I gave each of them just one, for them to put the sock on so they could hang it on their Christmas tree. I'll show you the pictures here that they've sent me after they added it onto the sock blocker. And so this way they can add it, they can use it for a Christmas decoration. I didn't have to put an I-cord on the back of it, and it'll sit up there beautifully. And then I've kept 2 back for myself. They were not real expensive or anything. I mean, they were on sale. I think they still have a sale going on until the 19th of the 19th of November. But again, the information is down below on how to find it. They're made in Finland, and it didn't take any time at all for me to get them. I was really surprised, and I'll probably get some more from them in different sizes, but they just have all different sizes. But I really needed, if I'm going to keep making some baby socks, I really did need these. Okay, I think that's about it. There's not a lot of life stuff going on other than we did take off this last weekend and had a few days away out on a ranch in Decatur, Texas. I put some stuff on Instagram if you want to take a look at it there. They had barrel racing going on, so I sat over there, knitted in the stands and watched barrel racing, and just sat outside watching the horses and enjoyed myself. Of course, all weekends there's good, bad, ugly. Funniest thing was that I chose my own room. It was staying in a bunkhouse, and this was they had it on Airbnb and everything, but I went directly through them. And this particular room, which was the only room that's like this, is what I was told. The bed came up above my waist. All right, so this thing was hilarious, I'm sure, if anyone was able to see besides Sam watching me try to climb up on this bed. They were great about finding me a set of steps the next day so that I can get on and off the bed. But I did this to myself. I really did. I did this to myself. It is the only room that is like this, and they hardly use it. And of course, which room did I choose? So you can go over onto my Instagram and see a little bit of video and pictures from that weekend. Other than that, I did change jobs a bit. I'm still doing the same job, but I've just changed locations. And so that was kind of a weekend to kind of give me a little time in between. So part of this is I will only be working 4 days a week instead of 5. So I'm hoping that'll give me a little bit more knitting time and maybe a little bit more time for some out and abouts. All right, that's it from me this week. I hope you guys have a great rest of your November. If you're here in the U.S., have a wonderful Thanksgiving. I'm looking forward to just having a day with family and food and stuff like that. And then I will see you next month in December. Keep working on your knitting, crocheting, have fun, sewing, whatever you're doing, and just have a blast. And I'll see you later.